Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. If you're new here, this is part 5 of my Victrix Miniatures series. I recommend checking out part 1 to 4 and then watching this, but if not, just watch along anyway. So in the last episode we looked at basically the Greek archers, which you see on the right there, and also how to apply these Little Big Man Studio transfers to the shields, which you see on the left. So I'm just going to bring these up. So there you are. That's the first 8. One thing about these guys here, I want to get in with the detail brush and just pick out their eyes. I think that'd be quite good. And just show off the second squad, which I haven't really shown. These guys are just holding upright spears, just getting ready to fight. I have noticed that I need to do some of their swords, which I completely forgot about. Sorry about that. But yeah, so in this video, I just want to really show off the bases which I've been working on, and there are a few other things I want to show off as well, but we're going to start with this. So there's no right or wrong way to base your miniatures, it's just your personal preference and what you're trying to achieve. There's many different materials and ways of doing your bases. So this is the way that I've done it. Basically, I've done a bit of research, looking at different images of ancient Greek landscapes and Mediterranean landscapes, looking for I had a type of image in my head, but I wanted to gather a bit more source material, so I done that first, and came to do what you see in front of you. So I'll just bring this up here. So there's different rocks, different shrubs and different tufts which I've added. There's dry brushing, shading, lots of different things going on here. But taking a step back to start with, in my previous Warhammer armies, I've done different ways of doing bases, so I'm going to show some of those off here. Now this type of base was the first one I ever did, which is very basic. It's just one texture paint from Citadel, which is a crackle paint. I forget the name of it, but it's literally just that, a bit of shading, dry brushing and a tuft. But with this type of miniature where there's lots of detail and lots of stuff going on, I think less is more kind of thing works quite well with this. So my next kind of army was this type of base, which is a bit more detailed. So you've got, again, a texture paint, but you've also got like little features of rocks which are made of cork and skulls and tufts and things going on here. And this type of base is one of my favourites. And in my last kind of project was the Necrons, and I've gone for like this ashen, burnt down city type of look, using again different bits of cork and skulls and bullet casings and bits of metal and stuff. So in the Victrix Miniatures one, I wanted to go for something which would suit the theme of the army. So to achieve this, I'm going to show you the different materials which I've used and kind of walk you through how I've done it. So to start with, I got this, which is a brilliant texture paint. There's a lot in it. Now it's a little bit expensive, but for the amount you get, I think it's very good value for money. You've got 200 millilitres here of this stuff, and you don't need a lot. So what I did was apply this to the base, and I added in some some larger rock features to some of the models and bases, which comes in the form of this, which is cork pieces from Green Stuff World. So I've just used a few of these and here and there, been a bit sparing with it, but for instance, there's one there. The next thing I did was apply some like medium rocks, which comes in the form of this, which is WW Scenic's limestone rocks. So yeah, quite good stuff here. And the final sort of material I added was these really small grainy rocks, which from the Army Painter. Again, £5.50. It seems like a lot, but you only need a pinch of this stuff here and there. So yeah, that's how I've done that. So yeah, once I added all those rocks on, I let it all dry, and I applied some what's it called, isopropanol alcohol, just to solidify everything in place. So yeah, again, I'll let that dry, and then it was time for painting. So what I did first was I went over the whole base with this this paint here, which is pale sand, again from Vallejo, because I wanted that light dusty look. So I applied that, and then I applied a wash, which is a 3-part mixture of Reichland Flesh Shades, Nuln Oil, and Larmian Medium. So I use an equal measure of all 3 of those parts mixed up. And it's a wash I use quite commonly on a lot of my models. There is a reason behind it. The Larmian Medium basically makes the rest of the shades run a lot further, so it's not sticking on like flat surfaces and things of the models. And just for like the colour, I've gone for the Reichland Flesh Shade and the Nuln Oil together. So once the shade had dried, I finally just dry brushed over everything with pale sand again. And then finally, the final step was just adding different bushes and tufts and things that I'd gathered over the years of being in the hobby. So I have basically like a massive tub of tufts and things here. It's a bit hard to show on camera, but you get the idea. You can get them anywhere really. So yeah, that's how I've achieved this. I was going to do like a video step by step of how to do it, but I think it would just be more time consuming than anything, so I decided against that. So hopefully this little walkthrough has kind of explained how I've done it, if you did want to follow along. So moving on to the next part of this video is what I've been working on over the last week besides these bases. Well, I purchased some shields from a company called Mortal Gods, which a few of you may be familiar with. But basically they do like ancient miniatures as well, mostly in metal or lead, which I haven't used since like 1990. But anyway, I purchased some of those shields, and I've got these, which are the Boeotian shields. Now, Boeotia was a region in ancient Greece, which was predominantly dominated by the Thebans of Thebes, but also had smaller city-states in the region as well. And one of my favourites is the Thespians, who were a little bit fearful of the Thebans dominating their land and taking over. So a lot of the time they would ally themselves with Sparta. Sparta being a formidable force, would stop any incursion from other city-states if they're allied with them. But the main reason I wanted to do a Thespian force is because they have a very inspirational story in one of the most historical battles of, well, in all history really, and that is the Battle of Thermopylae, when the Persians invaded Greece for the second time under the rule of Xerxes. And the defence force of Greece was an alliance between various city-states, but predominantly Leonidas of the Spartans with his 300. But it was also joined by 700 Thespians and 400 Thebans, along with other city-states. And I think the total amount of defenders that that turned up and appeared to fight in this massive battle was around 7,000 men, give or take. But basically, the Thespians were renowned for never surrendering, and so were the Spartans. But the difference being between the two was that the Spartans never surrendered due to their law. They were forbidden from surrendering, whether they wanted to or not. So in the final days of the conflict, a lot of Greek forces left the battle because they could see it was going to be a bloody end. So the only ones who remained were the Spartans, but the Thespians wanted to remain as well. Even though they could leave, they decided to stay with the Spartans, which is very courageous of them. Even though all of them, the 300s, the remaining Greek forces were slaughtered. I just found that quite an inspirational story. So I wanted to do a small force of Thespians. So once I found these shields, I thought, right, I'm going to do this. So the first thing about these shields is there is some bits on the back. Sorry about my thumb, I have injured it. But anyway, yeah, there are some bits here which I had to snip off, and then I had to sand down with a rotary tool, which took a bit of time. But this is the step of I snipped off as much as I could, and then I had to sand them down, which took quite a while. But once I was happy with that, I decided to build the models themselves. So I'm going to show off some of the prototypes now. So this was my second attempt. I should have shown the first one actually, but never mind. So this attempt is all black armor. This half crest transfer here is representing the Thespians. That was their kind of symbol, half moon. And I've got this symbol from Warhammer 40,000 transfer. I think it was Horus Heresy, but I had a few of those left over. So yeah, the first one I actually did was this guy, which, using a bit more gold. But this isn't the final one which I went with in the end. I've kind of had enough of painting gold. So I was looking through different source material for the Thespians and different interpretations of how they'd look, and a lot of it was black and white armor. So this is the final product which I've come up with, or the final version if you like, which I'm very happy with. I think it suits them quite well, and having the black and white works with the half moon transfer, I think. So that's how I'm going to do these guys. I've built 16 of them, and they're all using the new Greek hoplite miniatures from Victrix. So all the helmets, all the torsos. The only thing that isn't Victrix are the shields, obviously. So yeah, so I built 16 of these guys, and the rest are just in a rough state at the moment. But so I've got like 8 of these guys, if you like. A lot of them have the scaled armor, because again, going through the different source material of Thespians and imagery that I looked up, this was commonly used, and I quite like the look of it. So yeah, in the next video, you're more than likely going to see these guys in full. So yeah, and also in my next video there will be a triple unboxing. I've ordered 3 products from Victrix, so I'm looking forward to showing them off. As long as they come by next Saturday, then I'll be able to do that. And finally, I want to talk about this this little cup here, which my partner kindly got me, which she custom made. Yeah, it's very cool, I think. On the back you've got, again, the War Chest Townsend, but you've got like a Greek hoplite there, thrusting forward. And another nice little touch, as she got me this pen as well. And it's got the trireme symbol there. So yeah, just wanted to show that off. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Sorry it's a bit of a long one. You know, it's been 6 weeks since I started my Victrix miniature series, and everything in this video today is what I've achieved in those 6 weeks. I'm not the quickest of builders and painters, but I think I'm going at a good pace, and as long as you guys are still enjoying it, you know, that's all that matters really. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again next time.